Hello everybody, this is Jim Feist in Las Vegas, and Hank Goldberg from Florida is on the phone with me. Hank, the Pegasus Invitational was an interesting race. Gun runner goes off into the breeding segment of his career, and is a hell of a horse, and it was a good race. And I know you were there part of the time, and I know you gave me 5 horses, and 3 of them ended up on top, although it didn't pay much when the favorite came in.
No, I tried to take a position against the favorite with West Coast, and West Coast ran a terrific race, and at the top of the stretch, it looked like he had a chance, but a gun runner just, Giroux just nudged him, and he took off. And the key to the race was what we said it was. He had the outside post, and he got out of the gate strong. And on that first turn, he was in great position. And Giroux did a great job of not being bothered by that outside post. And when he was second on the first turn, the race was over. And he was just too good for the rest of them. And I'll tell you something. West Coast is going to be a great horse this year. For Baffert, they're going to do very well with him. He's a good horse, but he just wasn't as good as Gun Runner. And there was really a 2-horse race. I think they were 8 lengths better than everybody else. And Guinevere closed and ran third. He likes that racetrack. And the other speed didn't hold on. That was that.
Yeah, Azteca didn't hold up at all, so that was a disappointment. But it was a great race, and Gun Runner is he's a great horse. And anyway, we got a very small college basketball board today, some NBA plays. But I guess the big news in our world right now is the Super Bowl and all the props that are up. There must be 400 props on the board out here in Las Vegas that you can work through, and that people have been betting them strongly since last Wednesday or Thursday when they hit the board. And I know you have some insight to some of that as well.
Well, yeah, there's some interesting ones. I think New England and Brady. There's probably a lot of props with Brady, and the big question is going to be Philadelphia's defense and how it'll hold up. It'll be a dry field. Who does that benefit? You're looking at the Philadelphia offense. They've got some good wide receivers and good running backs. They've got a balanced offense. But so does New England. So it'll be interesting. And I see where New England is going in the day after Philadelphia. Frank Reich has done a great job with that offense for Philadelphia. And, that offense has been playing very well for Philadelphia. And, they racked up a good performance against a very good defense in the conference final. A much better defense than the one they're going to face on Sunday, although New England's defense against the run has been very strong since the 5th week of the season. We'll see how good they are against Philadelphia, and it'll be a big test for them. They give up something like 5 yards per rush. If you look at the stats on paper, the numbers favor Philadelphia.
Well, yeah, if you do look at the stats, it does look like Philadelphia's a better team, but New England has a head coach with an enormous record and a quarterback with an enormous record. So if you look at it, the team might be better, but their history and all the experience they've had. I mean, that group of two, Belichick, Brady, 8 Super Bowls together, pretty remarkable. However, people will make the argument that against Seattle they should have lost that game, and against Atlanta they should have lost that game too, but they didn't, and that's the key. The thing is, they might get outplayed, but somehow they end up winning. So Philadelphia could have the better team, but they don't have the better quarterback or head coach. So that's the issue.
You know, that quarterback is playing very well right now, and the staff is very good with Philadelphia. Reich is a very good offensive coordinator, and he's been around a long time. And Schwartz has been doing a very good job with that defense. So, you know, I think there might be a lot of scoring in the game. They're going to be on a dry field. I'll tell you something that's interesting, though. New England's very slow coming out of the gate. You might want to look at the first half number, and you can get Philadelphia pretty cheap.
Yeah, they certainly have. In the last 2 Super Bowls, they've been behind Seattle and Atlanta by big, and they were behind Jacksonville last week. They do come out slow, but they sure, that would be a betting option. Bet against them in the first half and on them in the second half. That's been working. No guarantee that it'll work again, but that has been the trend.
You know the defense for Philadelphia is similar to the defense that New England faced last week. The difference is that the Eagles have a quarterback who can play, and that's the difference. So, and I don't think that Philadelphia is going to be conservative. I think Philadelphia will go after it. They're not going to lay down in the second half. That's what makes this game more interesting.
Well, nobody should lay down, but a lot of coaches do. But I agree with you. This head coach doesn't look like he's the type to do that. Very interesting.
I'm going to give you an interesting stat. Philadelphia has gone for 4th down conversions 11 times this year, and their defense. They've been successful in on 7 times and going for 4th downs. And in the 4 times that they didn't make the 4th down conversion, their defense has held and not been scored on. They're good.
Well, they're very good. Yeah, they're very good. You know, through the year, without...
Not afraid. They're not. This guy's not afraid.
Many times during the season when Wentz was there and they were playing so well, I often said on podcasts and other things that Philadelphia looks like the best team in football. Now, when Wentz went down, there was a pretty big shock for everybody, and nobody knew exactly what was going to happen. And then, you know, Foles came out a couple games and looked really terrible. But now he seems to turn it around. He seems to be gelling with the offensive game plan that Philadelphia's running, and when that happens, look out. He has the talent, so I'm really looking forward to this game. It's going to be a great game to watch, and we're going to get into the props.
Without Wentz, they're 20% less efficient on offense, but they're a different kind of team without Wentz because they don't have the deep passing game that Wentz gives them. And they're more of a quick passing team. And remember, that 20% includes the Giants game where they really didn't do very well.
Yeah, that's true. Anything in college hoops that interesting you from the weekend? There were a lot of great games over the weekend, and of course this week coming up.
Yeah, Duke comes back tonight against Wake Forest. They should be looking to make up for their loss against Virginia, which they lost for the first time in their home court in years. Virginia's good, and Virginia's well coached, and they can defend. That was a low-scoring game. I think we told people to look out for the under in that game, and that came through. Otherwise, you know, it's kind of a light schedule tonight. The Pro Bowl was an interesting game yesterday, and Goff really screwed up and gave the game to the other side. I thought that was interesting, and it was. I thought that the AFC kind of played the game to win. You know, they were rushing the passer at the end of the game, and they had the strip sack, which is unusual for a Pro Bowl game. And other than that, the Pittsburgh coach finally got a win in a game that doesn't mean anything.
Well, that's a backsided compliment, isn't it? Actually, Duke plays Notre Dame tonight, Hank. I think you misspoke on that. They're playing Notre Dame, and they are a 14.5 point favorite. Game starts at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah. So it's going to be a good week. Hank, you and I will get back together on Wednesday and discuss more of this. And we'll have some more horse racing as well this coming weekend. But this week it's all about the Super Bowl, college hoops during the week. Hank, have a great day. We'll talk to you next on Wednesday.